Hello and welcome. Now, since today is a beautiful, gorgeous, sunny day, I've decided to make use of the natural light and do a computer build. Now, this is a small ITX computer build, which has been a little overdue. I have been busy doing other projects and also building computers for others too. So finally got around to doing it. Now, hopefully this will not take too long, but still we have lots to do. So let's get started. So today I do my ITX computer build. This is the actual case I'm doing it in. As you can see, it's absolutely tiny. And this is a Jonsbo V3 Plus, in case you want to know. The motherboard I'm going to put in here is a Gigabyte Z77N Wi-Fi. All this hardware is actually Hackintosh ready. So if you're planning on doing a Hackintosh build, everything is just here because this was previously a Hackintosh. Right, already installed on this motherboard is a Intel Core i7-3770. It's a quad-core 3.4 GHz processor with 8 megabytes of L2 cache and also hyperthreading. And before I actually get into it, I need to put my anti-static wrist strap on, which is connected to my radiator, so that will just ground me or earth me. So let's have a look inside the motherboard with the actual Intel stock cooler already installed on it. As you can see, it's absolutely tiny and perfect for a compact build. It's got 2 RAM slots only, and it has 4 USB 2 ports and 2 USB 3 ports, 2 HDMI outs. So it's got a built-in graphics card too, and also onboard audio. It's got Bluetooth and Wi-Fi built in. However, the onboard Wi-Fi does not work in Hackintosh. However, yes, it works perfectly in Windows. In fact, everything on here works perfectly in Windows. But with the Hackintosh build, what I tend to do is use one of these, which is a Wi-Fi repeater. Basically what it does is you connect it. This is the actual, it's a kind of external Wi-Fi card. It's a router. You link this, you connect this via the LAN cable, via the Ethernet cable into one of these. And this is, and you configure this. You put your Wi-Fi details inside this thing, and obviously it will catch the Wi-Fi and feed it via the LAN. This is what you would have to do on a Hackintosh build. However, as I said, on a normal Windows, on this motherboard, this the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth, everything on this board works. Before anything else, what I want to do is I want to make sure that there is enough silicon heatsink compound on the actual chip. So I will just undo this. Okay, so just unclip that. It should just come off easily. Right, okay, so I got the fan off. I think that will, for cleaning this, the best thing to work with for cleaning this, I think, is isopropyl alcohol, the purest you can find. And I just want to take this heatsink compound off. It's nice and clean, so I can put a fresh one on. Right, so all I need on this thing is just like a grain of rice worth of, that's all. It's like a small blob of, it's a bit too much actually. So I give the heatsink a little bit of a clean, and just to put this back on here. Okay, so now after this last one is on, it is fully secured on. The silicon compound is brand new and fresh, and I just need to kind of put this fan cable just a little out the way. So the RAM here, I will open that which is basically just straightforward. 16 gigabytes of RAM, that's 8 gigabytes each. Right, so RAM is successfully installed, and so is everything else. So the motherboard part of things is done perfectly. So as I prep the case, I will put this in here just to kind of keep it straight. Okay, first things first, the I/O shield. It's always something that I forget, or I nearly don't put it in. There's been a couple of times where I've actually not put it in, so I need to put that in first. So now I will position this in a place where you can see exactly what I am doing. Now to put the motherboard in with all the stuff, and I will do that gently here with and align it onto the screw holes. And the last one. So what I need to do next is install the graphics card. The graphics card is an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 650. It has it's a single PCI Express, but it requires a dual slot space. So I will just install this first. So I'll just install this in here. Right, so this seems to be slotted in properly. Perfect. Perfecto. Just need to clip that in. Done. Now this just needs screwing in on the back plates here, and then we're done. Right, so as you can see here, you have 2 DVI ports and 1 VGA, but you know, don't know who would use that. And HDMI port here too. So you got quite a lot of choice, and you can do multi-monitor setup. What I need to do now is just connect this to the USB header here. So there is one USB 2 and one USB 3 at the front, indicated by obviously the usual blue and black. So the USB 2 is the smaller one, which that's not the USB 2, this one is, which goes here and just slots on the motherboard snugly like this. And this one is for the audio in and out, and that goes on the motherboard here. Right, you would have noticed that I'm not wearing my anti-static wrist strap. Now, don't panic, I did not forget. Basically, it just kept annoying me, so I put it on my ankle instead of my wrist. So basically, I want to connect an exhaust fan on this case. So basically, I got a Noctua fan. So Noctua, if you're good with computers, you'll know that Noctua is one of the best. Okay. So you want this Noctua fan in the top slot because, of course, heat rises, and you want the fan to be at the top so it takes out the heat at the top. Just here, there, if you can see that, is a chassis fan header. So you just need to slot that in there. Okay, I need to kind of look at which one. Right, so double checking on the manual, the pin out of this because it's not actually written on board. So like this, pop this one back in, hard drive LED back in, and there you go, everything is connected. So basically what I have here is a SanDisk Extreme 240 gigabyte SSD. I trust SanDisk more than any other, to be honest. I'm a photographer and I always trust their memory, their SD cards and compact flash cards way back, and I find them to be a reliable brand. So I always choose SanDisk if I can help it. Thing is with these tiny cases, or at least this one, it's not got any space for the labels, so you have to kind of consult the manual just to kind of double check, because I just want to make sure I do this right and I don't do any boo-boos on this. So I get it all right the first time. Right, so these are SATA 2 and these are SATA 3. So what you want to do is the first one in SATA 3, stick that on there. Okay, so what I need to do now is just unscrew this bottom part so I can get to the drive bays. This is the bottom part, which are the drive bays, and what you need to do is just align these 4 screws here. Sorry, align the 4 holes here so you can like put the screws in. This space here is if you want a 3.5-inch hard drive, and you can fit one of those in there as a separate hard drive, as a second hard drive, I mean. Right, so if that kid would freaking shut up shouting outside, thank you very much. We can continue. Right, so the SSD is in and installed and secure. Right, so the final thing that has to be done now is installing the PSU. Now this is a Corsair CX. Okay, there is a freaking huge wasp in the room. And I'm not gonna get scared, because if I get freaking scared, it will just start smelling my fear and chasing me. So I'm just gonna ignore it, hoping that it merrily buzzes back out the way it came from. Right, so this is a Corsair CX 600, and yes, my attention is on the wasp. This is a very nice power supply. I like Corsair. So what I'll do first is install the cables, and that okay, that's installed in the graphics card. So this one is for the CPU. So you find that here. Actually, the CPU only takes 1, and I think I have to detach this one. So I will have to. I have no idea why that wasp is on my lantern, thinking it's a flower, because I'm sure it's got no freaking taste. Doesn't taste nor smell like a flower. So, wasp, can you just, like, you know, get the freak out of my room? CPU header connected. CPU power, sorry, connected to the header. And I need to make sure that these wires do not hit that fan, so the fan can freely turn. Okay, so now all that's left now is the oh, hold on, actually no, the power to the SSD, which is one of these, the longer one. It's always confused me that the longer one is just for power, whereas the the smaller one is actually for. Okay, so the power is in. I just need to put the data back in. Right, so all we need to do now is just to plug this power block into the motherboard. Yes, the wasp freaking finally got out. Thank God. Right, so yes, we plug the power block into the motherboard, and all we need to do after that is sort these wires out, because it's like a lot. Right, so this is all built and it's all screwed together and everything is fine. Now to test it, to see if it actually switches on and posts. So I have my spare monitor here, which my niece is using for her PlayStation 4. So what I will do is just borrow that and, you know, connect it to this thing. Right, so we plug this thing in, all dusty, and just switch it on. Okay, switches on, let's see if it posts. Yay, it posts. Oh, it still has my thingy on, my Hackintosh. Okay, I need to kind of go into the BIOS. Wow, okay. Right, okay, I thought I had actually erased this, but I hadn't erased this hard disk. What I need to do is I need to go in the BIOS and actually erase it, but this basically is OS X running on this computer, because I did a Hackintosh previously on this hard drive. Actually, it's a dual boot with Windows 7 and OS X. So if I restart it, you know, it gives me the option to dual boot. Right, so basically what I'm gonna have to do here is just go into the BIOS and of course, you know, reformat this entire thing so the hard drive is completely blank, so that I can put it on thingy. But how to set up a Hackintosh, this is the BIOS screen for this, by the way. How to set up the Hackintosh, you will find that on Tony MacX website. So basically the BIOS settings, I set them up as they are right now. They will work with a Hackintosh. I had to really mess around to get things right. So I will leave the BIOS settings as they are. So what I need to do now is exit out of this, boot into the flash drive, and hopefully load something up to, oh no, okay, right, and reformat this thing. Right, so the hard drive is completely erased, so there's nothing else on there whatsoever. So basically, if you want to put OS X on your computer, obviously make sure this computer is fully compatible. As you can see, it's working, always working, but make sure on Tony Mac website, which is in the description below, make sure that on the Tony Mac website that your hardware is compatible. Again, the link to the website is in the description below. You will need access to an actual Mac. So if you know somebody who has one, or you can go into university or whatever, and you can what you can do is download the Unibeast package from the website and then put it into your USB flash drive via the Mac. It'll give you the on-screen instructions step by step. So once you've done that, you set up your compatible hardware, and that's fine. But for now, what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to leave it completely blank. I'm going to reset this, pull the flash drive out, and you will see a completely fresh computer now. There you go. Right, so this is fine and working. Thank you so much for joining me for my build, my small ITX build. Don't forget to hit like if you liked what you saw. Feel free to share your thoughts and leave a comment, and also subscribe for more. For now, I say adios.